All right, today we're diving into the truly disturbing case of Nikolai Jumagaliev, a Soviet serial killer who got the nickname Metal Fang. But this isn't just a story about a monster. It's really about how the system just completely failed to stop him over and over again.
And that really is the heart of it, isn't it? How on earth does a guy like this get diagnosed with a serious mental illness, get released back into society, and then just go right back to killing? That's the baffling question we're going to try and unpack here.
So let's start at the very beginning. To really get a handle on the monster, you kind of have to look at the man he was before all the horror began.
So if you look at Jumagaliev's early life, nothing really jumps out at you. It's pretty standard stuff for the time, right? Born in the Kazakh SSR, served his time in the army. Then he bounced around a bunch of different jobs. He was a sailor, a firefighter, you name it. Nothing that screams future serial killer. But then 1979 hits, and everything, absolutely everything, changes.
This is it, January 1979, his first known murder. He attacks and kills a woman near his hometown. And here's the kicker. He gets away with it. Completely. I mean, they open a case, sure, but it goes nowhere. It just goes cold. And you have to think, that just fueled him, right? It basically told him he could do this. Okay, so he got away with one murder. And that just opened the floodgates. What happens next for the rest of 1979 is just a horrifying escalation. And it all leads to his first, and let me tell you, disastrous run-in with the so-called justice system.
So get this. After that first murder in January, he kills 5 more people that year. 5. The pace is it's chilling. He's basically a shark in the water, and nobody even knows he's there. And the way he finally gets caught is almost unbelievable. It's so absurd. It's not for the 6 murders, no. It's because he drunkenly and accidentally shoots a coworker. That's what gets him arrested. And when they evaluate him at the notorious Serbsky Center, they come back with a diagnosis: schizophrenia.
And right here, this is where the system just completely falls apart for the first time. Think about this. A man who has secretly murdered 6 people gets a diagnosis, and in less than a single year, they say, yep, he's good to go. It's just mind-boggling. They essentially gave him a get-out-of-jail-free card.
And what happens next? Well, it's exactly what you'd fear. The moment he gets back home, he doesn't miss a beat. He murders 3 more people. The system didn't fix anything. It just pushed pause on his rampage.
So now we get to the event that ripped the mask off for good. Because this time, his 9th murder wasn't some secret crime on a dark road. Oh no. This one happened in his own house, with guests over.
I mean, picture this. It just starts out as a totally normal night. He invites some friends over, their girlfriends are there, just a regular get-together. And that very normalcy is what makes what's about to happen so profoundly twisted.
So in the middle of this party, he leads one of the women into another room, kills her, and starts to dismember her body. His other guests, probably just wondering where they went, go looking for them, and they walk in on, well, a scene from a nightmare. They just flee, screaming into the night to find the police.
Can you even imagine being the cop who shows up to that scene? There was no investigation needed, no mystery. They found him right there, on his knees, covered in blood, with the evidence of his cannibalism all around him. The full, monstrous truth was finally, horribly, out in the open.
But here's the thing that's just wild. Even though they caught him literally red-handed, the outcome is the same as before. He's declared insane. Again. And he's sent to a psychiatric center, not a prison. This time for 8 years.
Now you'd think, okay, 8 years in a secure facility, that's got to be the end of it, right? Nope, not even close. This was just an intermission. The story was far from over.
So they're transferring him to what's basically a less secure hospital, and what does he do? He sees his chance, and he's gone. Poof, vanished. The very system that failed to contain him before has now literally lost him. Nikolai Jumagaliev is out there, on the run. And don't think he's just some mindless brute. On the run, he proves he's actually pretty cunning. So he's hiding out in the mountains in Kyrgyzstan, but he comes up with this plan to send the police on a wild goose chase. He gets someone to mail a letter for him, from Moscow. This creates a total panic, with everyone thinking he's in the capital, hundreds and hundreds of miles away.
And the letter he sent, it wasn't just a trick. It was a threat, a taunt. He was basically telling them, there are so many beautiful women here, no one will even notice if a few go missing. And of course, the media just eats it up and total fear grips the city.
So how does a story like this even end? Well, his capture is just as strange as everything else we've talked about. And where he is today? Well, it just raises even more disturbing questions.
So after being on the run for 2 years, you'd expect some big police takedown, right? Wrong. He gets arrested for stealing sheep. It's almost comical if it wasn't so horrifying. And it's only after they arrest him that they realize, wait a minute, we've got the Metal Fang Cannibal. Years later, in 2014, he gets convicted for another murder he committed while he was on the run. So where is he today? Right back where he started, in a psychiatric hospital. So today, he's locked up in a special clinic, you know, the kind with barbed wire fences. But here's the crazy part. Even after everything, the murders, the cannibalism, the escape, the idea of releasing him has actually come up multiple times over the years. Listen to this. This is a quote from an actual doctor who assessed him. The idea, the sheer thought, that this man could ever just be quietly in society or in some regular hospital is it's absolutely stunning. And it really gets to the core of the ongoing debate about his condition.
And that really leaves us with one final, haunting question to think about. After all this, after all the death, the systemic failures, the escapes, what does the word cured even mean in a case like this? Is it even possible? Or is the risk of the system failing one more time just too terrifying to ever consider?